Question 1, Part B. Evaluate the integral of sine theta over cos to the power of 4 theta d theta from theta equals 0 to theta equals pi over 4. We'll start by choosing an appropriate substitution after inspecting the integrand. So looking at the original integrand, we have sine theta in the numerator and cos to the power of 4 theta in the denominator. Now if we differentiate sine theta, we get cos theta, and if we differentiate cos theta, we get negative sine theta. So the substitution I'm going to use is u equals cos theta. Differentiating u with respect to theta, we get du d theta is equal to negative sine theta. And rearranging this equation to separate the differentials, and in particular to express du in terms of d theta, we get du is equal to negative sine theta d theta. And if we go back to our original integrand, we have a sine theta d theta in the numerator. So this will make the substitution a lot easier. Next, we need to change the limits of integration from being in terms of theta to being in terms of u. So using our substitution that we chose, u equals cos theta, when theta is equal to 0, u is equal to cos of 0, and cos of 0 of course is 1. So u equals 1 is our lower limit. And when theta is equal to pi over 4, u equals cos of pi over 4, and cos of pi over 4 is root 2 on 2, or 1 over root 2. So u equals root 2 on 2, which is our upper limit. So going back to our original integral, we have the integral of sine theta d theta over cos to the power of 4 theta from theta equals 0 to theta equals pi over 4. But we need a negative to appear in front of the sine theta, and that's easy enough to do. We just multiply the numerator by negative 1. But we need to compensate for that by switching the limits around. So the integral becomes negative sine theta d theta over cos to the power of 4 theta from theta equals pi over 4 to theta equals 0. Now this may appear counterintuitive at this point. However, when we express the integral now in terms of u, the limit pi over 4 becomes root 2 over 2. The limit 0 becomes 1. So the limits are now in ascending order. The lower limit is actually lower than the upper limit. The negative sine theta d theta becomes just du. And cos to the power of 4 theta becomes u to the power of 4. Now expressing that integral using a negative index, we get the integral of u to the power of negative 4 du from u equals root 2 on 2 to u equals 1. Performing the integration, we get negative 1 over 3 times u to the power of negative 3 from u equals root 2 on 2 to u equals 1. Applying the limits of integration, we get negative 1 over 3 times open brackets 1 over 1 to the power of 3 minus 1 over root 2 on 2 in brackets to the power of 3, close brackets. And we can simplify that a little further. We get negative 1 over 3 times 1 minus 8 over root 2 to the power of 3 in brackets. And we can multiply through by negative 1, so we get 1 over 3 times 8 over 2 root 2 minus 1 in brackets. Now 8 over 2 root 2 we get by applying this cube function here. Root 2 to the power of 3 is 2 root 2. And that simplifies to 2 root 2 minus 1 over 3.